Ash Ketchum, the main derpy protagonist of the Pokemon anime. This gentleman hasn't made an appearance on my channel for some time, and to be frank, I'm actually happy he's back. Welcome back, Ass. So Ash, he's caught quite a bit of Pokemon over the years, ranging from all generations. Though he has caught quite a few Pokemon, there have also been Pokemon that he has almost had, whether it be a gift Pokemon or simply just changing his mind about a trade. Today, I wanted to count down some of these Pokemon Ash almost had, and potentially even talk about how they would have affected the story if Ash would have actually obtained them. Note that a few of these Pokemon Ash technically did own, but not fully. It was very brief, so they still fall into the almost had category because he still decided on to not permanently keep them. The Pokemon Ash almost owned are very minor characters in the anime to a degree, so if you guys forgot about them, maybe you will remember them today. With that being said though, let's revisit Mr. Ketchum's early days and discover what some of these Pokemon actually were like. I remember this episode of Pokemon where Ash attempts to capture his first Pidgey. Back in that episode, Pikachu wasn't even obeying him, he was literally just laughing at Ash for being dumb. Hell, even the Pokedex makes fun of him. I think you guys know what Pokemon I'm talking about. He tried to suffocate it with his jacket. Yeah, it's Pidgey. Well, the one that he almost caught, because there are actually quite a few of them. I had to include Pidgey because he technically did almost own it. All Pikachu had to do was just shock it a little bit and boom, Pokeball capture. To be fair though, he did capture Pidgeotto shortly after, so I guess him not catching Pidgey wasn't all that bad. I will admit though, watching him get sand attacked is still pretty funny to watch. Oh, the cute egg Pokemon that everyone and their mother fought over in the Season 1 anime. So, Togepi. Ash and his friends found this little egg in Grandpa Canyon, a place in the Kanto region where fossilized Pokemon poop can actually be found. The egg appeared after Charmeleon evolved into Charizard and chased down a very pissed off Aerodactyl. It kinda just stumbled into the gang. Brock did the most when it came to taking care of the egg, and Ash was the one who originally found it. When the egg hatched though, Togepi actually fell in love with Misty at first glance because it saw her as a motherly figure, but originally it was supposed to be Ash's, because he actually found it. So he could have kept it for himself and took care of the egg. I guess this doesn't just count for Ash, it counts for both Brock and Ash, but still, Ash technically did almost have Togepi, and he even won the competition that they made for who would win Togepi. So by default, Togepi should technically be Ash's, it just kind of chose Misty. Imagine Ash with a Togekiss though. Makes you wonder how that would have worked for him. God, Ash, I'm glad you took back this crap Eradicate, but at the same time, I'm still pretty pissed at you because after your speech about how you cared for Butterfree, you still released it. Okay, it wasn't technically a release, but Butterfree's still left and it's probably long gone by now. If Ash would have kept Eradicate though, what would it have been like? It's kinda hard to say because in the anime, he wanted Butterfree back. But if we were to say he didn't want Butterfree back period, he would set his notions on training and raising Eradicate. He technically owned Eradicate, but like I mentioned in the introduction to this video, he traded it back immediately, so he almost had Eradicate too. I am actually considering making a what if Ash kept Eradicate. What do you guys think? So Larvae Tar is a semi-complex case when it comes to being on this list because Ash almost did own it. Larvae Tar, Ash, and Pikachu developed some pretty deep bonds, so the anime was practically lining up Larvae Tar to become a member of Ash's team. Imagine if Ash did own Larvae Tar, it would be interesting, but I think it would actually wind up being like Gibble, where he just had it for a short time and it would just rot out at Professor Oak's lab. So Ash received the Larvae Tar egg from Professor Elm shortly after he reunited with his Lapras, and his job was to deliver it to Mount Silver. In doing so, the egg hatches into Larvae Tar and Ash even uses it to battle a couple of times. I honestly thought that the researchers would just look at Larvae Tar and would have told Ash, oh, Larvae Tar seems to like you a lot, why don't you keep it? Things unfortunately didn't happen like that though, and he wound up just giving up Larvae Tar. Although I will say he did have a pretty good chance of getting it. So I think a lot of you Gen 1 anime fans know about this Pokemon and remember it quite a bit. That's also why, more or less, it wound up being in the #1 spot. Haunter was the biggest goofball Pokemon that ever followed Ash around. I even made a what-if scenario for if Ash would have kept Haunter. It's pretty interesting, so definitely go check it out. So Haunter. Ash needed a ghost-type Pokemon to take on Sabrina because she was pretty scary. She turned Brock and Misty in the dolls, and well, she put Pikachu to the ground. Ash never officially owned Haunter, but he came very close because it did kind of obey him, I guess. But in the end, he wound might end up making Sabrina laugh super hard, giving Ash his Marsh badge. So now Sabrina owns Haunter? I don't even know what happened to Haunter. Like, the anime brings it up again and it makes you wonder, like, what's going on with it. It did follow Ash a lot, so I was honestly expecting it to follow him after the Battle of Sabrina, but it actually didn't, funny enough. Still though, I think this was the closest Pokemon Ash probably would have ever owned. Well, that pretty much wraps up the Pokemon I think Ash almost owned. Some of these Pokemon he did own for a short time and gave them up, or he just didn't pursue them hard enough to own these Pokemon, period. Regardless though, Ash could have had some pretty powerful Pokemon, and I think they would have played a very interesting part in the anime. What Pokemon do you guys think Ash almost had though? Share them in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like and subscribe to my channel with notifications on, that way you never miss an upload. If you want to support me further, consider following my Twitch where I stream a lot of Pokemon content like shiny hunting, showdown battles, and even Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky speedruns. I'm currently in partnership grind for Twitch, so if you guys could come down and support, I would love that a lot. Want to support me further and gain cool perks? Check out my Patreon. Flight Jubilee did, and I wanted to thank them personally for going above and beyond. It means the world to me. I think I'm gonna wrap this up though. I'm Mr. Umbreon, and I will see you in the future for some more awesome Pokemon content.